Eminem's Detroit mansion is one of those places that makes you wonder, how many rooms does a man need to write rap lyrics? Located in the upscale suburb of Rochester Hills, this sprawling estate is a symbol of Slim Shady's massive success and his low-key approach to luxury. Unlike the glitzy, paparazzi-ridden mansions of Hollywood, Eminem's property screams quiet wealth. It's massive, sure, but it's also private. Because let's be honest, the last thing he needs is a fan trying to reenact Stan on his doorstep. Let's talk about the sheer scale of this place. It sprawls over 17,500 square feet, which is basically the size of a small shopping mall. It boasts 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and enough space for Eminem to lose himself. In the literal sense. Imagine needing GPS just to find your kitchen. The estate sits on a whopping 5.7 acres of land, surrounded by trees and manicured lawns, giving M all the privacy he could ever want. No nosy neighbors, no random people wandering in. If the walls could talk, they'd probably rap. This mini kingdom has a tennis court, a swimming pool, and a massive game room. There's also a guest house because apparently the main house just isn't big enough to host people. Rumor has it, there's even a secret recording studio tucked away inside. Just imagine him pacing in his sweatpants, churning out lyrics in all the rooms of this kingdom. Oh, and did I mention the garage? It's big enough to house his collection of cars, including the Porsche 911 GT2 RS and Ferrari 599 GTO. Basically, his garage is cooler than most people's entire homes. One thing Eminem takes very seriously is his privacy. The mansion is equipped with top-notch security features, gates, cameras, probably lasers too. Who knows? You're not getting anywhere near it unless you're invited. It's the ultimate fortress for someone who values his personal space as much as his rhymes. After all, the man is notoriously reclusive. He's not hosting pool parties or Instagramming his backyard barbecues. This mansion is his retreat, a place where he can focus on music, family, and staying away from the chaos of fame. While some celebrities flaunt their wealth with gold-plated toilets and Versace walls, Eminem's mansion shows his no-nonsense personality. It's luxurious but understated, just like the man himself. Sure, it's worth $15 million, but it doesn't scream, "Look at me." Instead, it quietly says, "I've worked hard, I've made it, but I'm still Marshall Mathers at heart." If his lyrics are anything to go by, he probably writes his best lines while pacing in one of those 9 bathrooms. Who needs inspiration when your house is basically a 5-star resort? In true Eminem style, his mansion is enough to tell us all that you don't need a chandelier shaped like your face to show you've made it. Sometimes, all you need is a ridiculously big house, a recording studio, and the satisfaction of knowing your success speaks for itself. The Rolex Day-Date Presidential Watch. Eminem doesn't rock chains and grills like other rappers, but when it comes to watches, he's all about subtle flexing. The Rolex Day-Date Presidential Watch is gold, diamond encrusted, and iconic. It's like the Bentley of watches. It says, "I'm rich," but in a classy, almost whispery way. This isn't some regular old watch from the department store. It's a Rolex, and not just any Rolex. This bad boy is solid gold and has diamonds sprinkled in for good measure. It's like telling time with a treasure chest strapped to your wrist. Given Eminem's low-key nature, you can imagine this watch spends more time in a drawer than on his wrist. But hey, if you're gonna be late to a meeting, you might as well check the time on a 10K timepiece, right? The rare sneaker collection. Eminem is a sneakerhead, but not just any sneakerhead. He's the kind who has Nike and Air Jordan collaborations under his belt. He owns pairs like the Eminem X Carhartt Air Jordan 4s, which resell for upwards of $30,000. Yes, that's 3 zeros for sneakers. These sneakers are rarer than a diamond in a desert. They're limited edition, meaning only a handful exist in the entire world. Owning a pair is like being a member of an exclusive club where the dress code is absurdly cool. Imagine accidentally scuffing one of these on the sidewalk. You'd probably need therapy. Knowing M, he probably wears them sparingly, like on days he knows he won't encounter mud, puddles, or other humans. The Ferrari 599 GTO. Let's talk about speed. Eminem's Ferrari 599 GTO is a beast on wheels. With a 6.0-liter V12 engine and the ability to hit 60 mph in just 3.3 seconds, this thing could outrun your problems, if only life worked that way. Ferraris are status symbols. At $410,000, the 599 GTO is one of the most exclusive models out there. It's basically a racetrack monster in street legal form. Eminem doesn't seem like the type to cruise around town showing off his car. This Ferrari is probably parked in his garage, collecting dust. But hey, it's still cooler than any car most of us will ever sit in. The comic book collection. If you thought comics were just for kids, think again. Eminem's comic book collection is worth more than most people's homes. It includes rare gems like Amazing Fantasy 15, which features Spider-Man's first appearance and is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. These comics, they're investments. Rare comic books can skyrocket in value, especially ones featuring iconic characters like Spider-Man and Batman. It's like owning pieces of pop culture history. The exact collection of Amazing Fantasy 15 that Eminem flaunts so proudly was apparently sold for $1.1 million in a 2011 private sale. Eminem's love for comics started in childhood, and the fact that he still collects them is frankly wholesome. He's the type of guy who'd drop $200K on a comic and then geek out over it like a kid in a candy store. Comic books have always been my thing. Old Batmans, Supermans, Spider-Man, and the Hulk. Mostly old Marvel stuff from before I was even born. It's insane to have those bits of history at all. I know a fair amount about comic books, but I wouldn't want to compete with someone who knows more. Eminem shared this via Vulture. His recording studio. Every rapper needs a space to work their magic, and Eminem's custom recording studio in Detroit is just that. It's equipped with state-of-the-art technology, probably has soundproof walls thicker than my attention span, and is the birthplace of countless hits. Studios like this don't come cheap. We're talking about $1.5 million from the architecture alone. That's about millions of dollars on equipment alone. Add the acoustic treatments and custom design, and you've got a workspace that's worth more than some mansions. This studio is Eminem's creative sanctuary. It's where he crafts rhymes, lays down beats, and occasionally roasts his haters. Custom jewelry. Eminem's jewelry collection might not rival the likes of Drake or Jay-Z, but it's still jaw-droppingly expensive. From diamond-studded chains to custom pendants, his pieces are subtle yet undeniably flashy. He wore a particular diamond piece during a concert at the Milton Keynes Bowl. This incredible necklace, which is estimated to be worth $450,000, was formerly owned by Eminem until he gave it away during a performance. Designed to resemble a massive cross covered in diamonds, he made the decision to immediately reveal the bling to a startled fan. Eminem declared, "I'm going to give this to the sexiest woman I see," and presented the necklace to a blonde girl about 18 to 20 who wore spectacles. When he chose to address press accusations that he had spent $750,000 on jewels in a single week, a charge he disputes, he was performing at the Milton Keynes Bowl in front of 65,000 spectators. Unlike other rappers who wear their chains to breakfast, Eminem keeps his collection under wraps most of the time, but when he does step out with it, it's a quiet reminder of his status. Eminem, born Marshall Bruce Mathers III on October 17, 1972, in St. Joseph, Missouri, is one of the most influential and successful artists in the history of hip-hop. Known for his rapid-fire flow, intricate rhymes, and raw, introspective lyrics, Eminem's journey from a struggling artist to a global icon is nothing short of legendary. Eminem exploded onto the music scene with his major label debut, the Slim Shady LP, 1999, which won a Grammy for Best Rap Album and introduced the world to his alter ego, Slim Shady. From there, he released a string of critically acclaimed albums, including the Marshall Mathers LP, 2000, The Eminem Show, 2002, and Recovery, 2010. His discography is packed with chart-topping hits like Lose Yourself, Stan, Without Me, and Love the Way You Lie. To date, Eminem has sold over 220 20 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling artists of all time. Eminem has earned 15 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award for Lose Yourself, the first hip-hop song to win Best Original Song, and countless other accolades. He's also been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which puts him in his place in music history. Beyond his solo work, he's a founding member of D12, has mentored artists like 50 Cent, and runs Shady Records, a successful record label. Eminem's music broke barriers, addressing topics like addiction, mental health, poverty, and family struggles. While often controversial, his ability to blend vulnerability with humor and sharp critiques of society set him apart. He paved the way for white rappers in a predominantly black genre, doing so with respect for hip-hop's roots. Eminem's influence extends beyond music. He starred in 8 Mile, 2002, a semi-autobiographical film that became a cultural phenomenon. His candid discussions about addiction and recovery have inspired countless fans. Despite his massive success, he remains deeply private, focused on fatherhood and his craft. Eminem is a storyteller, a poet, and a cultural force who turned personal pain into universal anthems. His journey from Detroit streets to global superstardom shows the transformative power of talent, resilience, and a relentless work ethic. Simply put, Eminem is a rap god. Eminem might not be the type to flaunt his wealth constantly, but his purchases show that he knows how to live it up when he wants to. While Slim Shady stays grounded, he also knows how to flex in style.